Hello, automators. Today, we are going to look at how to provide regular and consistent updates to your social media. We're going to use an RSS feed, and we'll explain that. We're going to use OpenAI. We're going to use Replicate for images, Airtable for storage, and Blotato for social media uploading. Now, I will say normally I do not use tools that do not provide an immense value, especially if there's a monthly cost. Now, Blotato is about $29 per month for API access, and in order to use it with N8N, in the example shown here, we do need API access. There is a free trial. It is really powerful. I'm going to spend a minute and we're going to go over it. But the API access and their brand new certified community node is amazing. It is outstanding. So, with no further ado, let's get started. Here is what we're going to build using N8N. We are going to take an RSS feed. A lot of WordPress sites, any kind of blog sites, YouTube, they have these RSS feeds. Every time something new is added, it automatically will cause this to trigger. And in this case, I have Go High Level. High Level adds a lot of really cool features, and honestly, I miss a lot of them because I'm busy. So I'm building this automation that will take their newest updates when they do, and not only distribute it to my social media, but will also let me know what's going on. It's an easy way for me to keep track. Now, we're going to use Replicate, like I said. I'll walk you through that. Airtable and Blotato. This is by far the easiest method for social media uploading that I've ever found. Things like LinkedIn and X are notoriously hard to deal with. Blotato makes them so easy. I honestly, half the time I'm shocked that it even works. Plus, they also have TikTok, so you can do videos and a whole lot of stuff related to normally harder applications. Now, let's get started. The first thing we need to do is go to Blotato. And that's like blog potato, I think. Blotato. The link will be in the description. It is an affiliate link. If you would click it and you decide to give it a shot, I do make a small percentage. I do appreciate it. It helps fund this channel and other ventures to help spread the word of AI and automation. We need to create an account. And when you create an account, there is a free trial. And the free trial has a ton of things. So they have this create a post, for instance. You can just tell it which ones you want to create, and then you can find inspiration. You can add a source. This is really cool because you can just add a YouTube, for instance, or a TikTok, and it will go and grab that information and then generate automatically for you the material for the different posts. And there's many options on here. You have limiting beliefs, and here's an Instagram default, and Hormozy $100 million offer style, and micro essays. And these are really powerful. You can use all this in the free trial. There's you can get custom prompts, so you can build your prompts just the way you like them. There's the calendar where you can schedule, you can publish posts, you can even generate videos. You just say create a new video and it will walk you through. It does take AI tokens. So be aware of that, but the price is really good. Here's our API dashboard, but the first thing you have to do after you create an account is come down to settings, and right here, you're going to connect your social media. Follow these instructions right here. Open the social media before, and then connect each page individually. Don't do connect all. And all you do is just click on one of these that you want to connect. You'll log in. If there's multiple sources, like Facebook, for instance, you'll sign into one and sign into the other. Only takes a couple of minutes and you are set up. The API dashboard is where you can look at your traffic. But here in settings, the API, this is where you get your API key. And like I said, remember, for the API, it does require a paid account. And so it does not work on the free trial. I think she says she's trying to cut down on spam and just, abuse. And so keep that in mind. Absolutely worth it. This tool without the API is very good. with the API and the N8N community node. Outstanding. So you've set up your account. You have come over here and logged into whichever ones that you want. Then you come to API and you will generate a key if there isn't one, or you'll copy this. Now we do need to look at a couple of more sites. Replicate.com, and you'll create an account, you'll log in, and you will need an API key here as well. And here you can pick just about any model that you want. I really like Ideogram. And so, these are some different ones that you can see. But I like Ideogram. Let's see here. And they have Turbo. I like this 3 quality. But you can just pick any one that you want. Ideogram V2. You can do Flux and DeepSeek and VO and all kinds. But we're going to just use quality for today. What you'll do is, once you set up your account, so this runs 9 cents per image, and you're going to want this HTTP right here. All you need to do for now is just click on this and leave it right there. Next, we're going to go to Airtable. So you would come here and so you pick the one that you want. I'm in this one. Create a new table, and that'll just ask you a question or two, and you're ready. Now we're going to, or that's a base, excuse me. Now we're going to create a table, hit the plus sign, and then you're just going to say from scratch. And we'll name this N8N test just to keep it easy for me. First thing we want to do is let's remove these. Now we're going to delete these columns, and you can just come right here, delete, 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 and make sure. So we'll leave attachments because we're going to use attachments to store our image. Here we can just call this whatever we want. All you need to do is click on edit field. You can rename it. I'm going to say title. This just gives me a tracking method. We do need to add our social media in here. So I'm going to say long, and we want that long text. I'm going to enable rich, and we'll just call this LinkedIn. I'm only going to do this for a couple, just so that you can see it. You can add as many as you want. Okay, I'm also going to say Instagram. Instagram is another one that's long. That's notoriously complicated for setting up. And once you've set it up, you still have a lot of steps. Blotato handles all the really complicated stuff. We'll create that. Also, you want to add a created time, and this just allows you to track when it happened. Okay, so here we have attachments. I'm just going to rename this here as well. I'm going to call this image. And when you're paying 9 cents an image, you want to save them. Now you can store these in whichever medium you want, but like I said, we're going to use Airtable. So we have a title, an image, and this is where the generated social content is going to show up. All right, now the next thing we need to do is, if we look at our image, is we need to go ahead and start building. We're going to have an RSS feed, and then from there we're going to have 2 different AI modules, an HTTP request. We're going to save all of our stuff in Airtable, and then we're going to upload. And there are 2 steps to uploading, so let's go ahead and do that. Once you're inside of N8N, we want to create a workflow, and the first trigger we want to add is the RSS. So you can click trigger and then just say RSS, and here are the 2 different options. We want this trigger, and what this allows us to do is put in a URL that will be watched for. So in this case, I'm using Go High Level, and this is what it looks like. But all you have to do is search for like YouTube RSS feed. If you want to use your own YouTube videos, you can do that. Now there is this app called RSS.app, and it has a lot of feeds, and you can custom build. So you can use their builder or the generator, but you could grab YouTube or Telegram or X or TikTok, a whole bunch. You can even include your favorite topics, like you could say AI in marketing, and it will help collate that from around the web. This does cost, I think, about $10 per month. I use it if I need it, but right now I want it to come directly from Go High Level. And so I'm going to copy the URL and I'm going to come back over to our flow and I'm going to paste that link right here. Now you can test this by saying fetch test event. The title here is address and regulatory bundle updates. And here's the content. Here's a snippet. And this is category phone system. So this is the latest post. When they do another post, this will change. And I want it to trigger when a new one is added. So here's our poll times every minute. I could do it every hour, which is fine. But I want it to be fairly frequent so that I'm getting posts immediately after. The next thing we need to do is add our AI. And we can hit this plus sign and just say, I'm going to use OpenAI. I'm going to try the 5.1 mini. So right here in test actions, we want text actions. We want message model. You do have to have an account. There is a video in my YouTube which will walk you through that if you need help. But it's super easy. Go to platform.openai.com and set it up. Now this will work with any of the AI. You just search for which AI that you want. We do want to message a model, and here, there we go, GPT-5 mini, and that's what I want. So we're going to have a couple of prompts. So the first thing we want to do is add a message here, and then we're going to change this top one to system prompt, the second one to the user prompt. And let me show you here inside of my community, AI Automation Elite, everything is lined out. Here's the image. Here are all the prompts, the JSON and instructions. But if you're not a member or you just want to try it out, I'm going to paste this in slow enough. All you need to do is when we see the whole prompt, take a screenshot of that, drop it in ChatGPT. It'll give it to you, and then you paste it. So the first thing we need to do is this system prompt. Notice this is the generate summary. And so I'm just going to copy that, come back over here, and I'm going to paste that right in here. Now, if you change this to expression and you hit the little plus sign, you can see the entire thing. So here's the prompt. Just screenshot this right here. Drop that into your favorite LLM, and it will just say, translate this for me, and you'll have the text. Next, we want to go to the system prompt. The system prompt is right here. This is where we are going to provide it the live data. So again, we'll hit expression, and then we'll pop this out. I'll paste that right there. It's nice and easy. If we delete that, and we come right over here, we want the content. So you can just grab the content and drop it in. Notice on this preview site, it shows you the entire article so you know that it's right. This one is good, but we do want to make sure that output is JSON. So let's click that and let's execute this step. Now we have a JSON output, looks good. And this structure that I provided here, you can make your own, but this is a problem solution impact structure. So it will update the article summary. Next, we need to add another AI, and this is also going to be, and you can come to message a model. The other thing you can do is copy this and just hit the paste sign and put it right there and connect. And that means it's already set up, but we do have another set of prompts that we need here. Now this is the writer agent. And so when we come back over here, if we grab the system prompt, and here's the system prompt, so let's pop this out, and we're going to replace that. Here it says you're a skilled copywriter. Now notice this has X, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. I'm going to remove Threads and Facebook and X just to keep it clean. Add in whichever ones that you're going to use. And this just makes it easier for us in the next step because it's going to return this JSON. So I'm going to go ahead and snip that. All right, I'm going to close this and run back over here and grab the user prompt. And And we'll come to user prompt. We'll pop that out. And again, we'll just paste this. This update name, it comes from right here. So the update name, address, and regulatory bundle. So I'm just going to do the one so you can see. We can always just grab it and drag it. There we go. Now we'll close this and let's execute this step. So it did take about 75 or 80 seconds to generate this. So the 5 either is because of it's slow in general. Sometimes the smarter models are, or maybe it's because it's very popular right now, and so it's just moving slow. So I did cut that out, but here is the result, and this looks really nice. Always make sure that you save, because N8N does not auto-save. Now let's go back and look at our image here, what we want to do. The next thing we want to do is this HTTP request, and I'm going to show you an amazing shortcut on getting this added. So go ahead and hit plus and say HTTP and click the request. Notice it has this import CURL, or curl as we call it, and we can save ourselves a lot of hassle. So let's run back over to replicate, and notice we did the HTTP. Just copy this, go back to your workflow and say input curl and paste and say import. It will fill out all of the complications for you, all the structure. The only thing you have to do is fix the token, the input. All right. So the token, you're going to go to replicate. You're going to go to API token, and you're going to give it a name. I'm going to say N8N test, and then you're going to create the token. And here's the token right here. You're just going to copy this. Now I will delete this before the video is public, so don't worry about using it, because you will see it here in just a second. Now normally this is an API token, so please keep this private. Don't share it with anybody. This is the keys to your AI house in Replicate, and someone could get it and cause you a lot of financial problems with that. So keep it secret. In this case, I'm going to delete it. We go back over here, and right here where it says bearer, this $ replicate token, delete that and paste. The next thing we need to do is replace this prompt. So we'll come right here, and what we want to do is edit this. In here, I do have the prompt. Let's see here, where is it at? So here is the image generator prompt. I'm just going to copy the whole thing and go back over. I have made this a fairly generic prompt. Right here is the prompt I'm using. Notice we do have this, and if we close this and we come over here, it's a little easier to see. What we have to do is delete this out. This is topic. Now in this case, you can put whatever you want, but following this, all I did was take the categories right here, drag it over there. The categories, and let's just open this up and make sure that it worked right. It did not. We will copy this and paste it right here. This just adds a little bit of variation. Change this prompt inside of here to include a image prompt. There's a lot of ways to go about it. Find whichever way works, but this is how I adding slight differentiation but consistency in images. When we execute this one, it will take it about 20 or 30 seconds. Here is all the information. This is what we want right here, this output, and this is what we're going to use in the next step. So we're going to hit plus, and now we're going to add Airtable. And you could use any storage that you want, or you could remove this. I just like to save the images because I paid for them. So I'm going to say create a record. Here you do have to connect your Airtable. There's a video in my YouTube for this, and we want to create. Now the base, we just click on here and pick the base. If you're unsure of how to approve the base, all you have to do is come over here and up top and over here, and you want to go to Builder Hub. You will create a token. And when you create a token, down here at the bottom, these are the scopes that you need. When you create a token or you already have a token, you can just say add a base. Notice I just added that. and then save it. That's all it takes to add that to it. So if you have multiple bases under one API key, you can. Come back here, and now I need to pick a table, and we chose this N8N test. Notice it will automatically populate whatever columns that we have. Now we want the title. I'm going to get the title from the RSS feed, which is right here. Drag that over. I'm going to skip image for just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and grab the prompts. So the prompts are from our AI, and I'm going to bring in LinkedIn, Instagram. Now, of course, you would bring in whichever ones that you've added. Now, image is just a little bit different, and I'm going to paste this so that you can see it. And so I'm going to click this right here, open this up. And what you need to do is have the double curly brackets, then the square bracket, and then the JSON object with the URL key and the value of JSON, $JSON.output, and then you need to name it. Now, you can name it dynamically. You could put time in here, like time now. I just call it generated image because in Airtable that is just fine. Once you've done all of that, you can execute the step. And here we go. So it was a success. Let's go look at our Airtable. If we come back in here, and there it is. So there's the title. Here's our image. Oops. Here is our LinkedIn post, and here is our Instagram post, and it happened at this time. So that's working correctly. One more step, and that is setting up Blotato. So when we come back over here, let's make sure we save, and we're going to go right here. Now, there are two things with Blotato. When you type in Blotato, you will click here. If you have not installed it, there will be a little wording right here that says click to install this node. All you have to do is click, and it'll install in just a second. It is a verified node. It takes a click, and it's ready to go. And you have two options: media, upload media, and create posts. The first thing we need to do is upload our media. So when we click this, what we have to do is set up our Blotato account. And you can click this and create a new credential, and all you need is your API key for Blotato. When we go back over to our Blotato account, you will either copy API key or generate the first time, and then you come here, you will paste that in. And when you save, it's green, so you're ready to go. Now that's connected, what we want to do is upload, and we want to upload the media. That's this right here from our HTTP request, and we want this output. Notice this is a PNG. We're going to drop that in right there, and we're going to execute this step. All right, we have a return, and the only difference is now we have a new URL that comes from Blotato. Now we can add our social media. So we'll hit plus, and once again we'll say Blotato. We want to create a post. Make sure you have the right credentials, create, and now you can decide which ones that you want. We look at our responses here. I have LinkedIn and Instagram. Okay, so Instagram is good. Any account that you have connected in Blotato, you will have access to here. So I have this one. Great. Now for text, all I want to do is add that, and once again I can execute the step. Notice right here it says it needs an image, and this image here comes from our upload. We can add that right there and execute one more time. And now we have a post submission. So I went to Instagram, I clicked on our link here, and notice 28 seconds ago, we have this new post. And if we close that, we can see that that new post was right there. So very easy to do. If you want to add another one, you can come right here, and I would just copy this and drag this right here. And now we can click inside of this, and here I want this to be LinkedIn. And notice with LinkedIn, when I come down here, it will now show me what my LinkedIn account that I have connected. You may also have more than one pages. So if you set a LinkedIn page, for instance, you can click on that, and then you can get the ID, and you get the ID right over here in Blotato. If you go back to your settings, and so perhaps I want this page ID right here, I can just copy that and paste that in. I know this has been a longer video. And lots of steps, lots of setup. But once you've done this once or twice, sky's the limit. However you want to ingest some form of information, do what you want with it. 1, 2, 3, 5, doesn't matter. However many LLMs. Where you get your image, you can also use OpenAI DALL-E 3. I like Replicate better, but you can pick your favorite one. All very simple. Do something with storing your information, and then just remember you need to upload your media, and then you need to post your content, and that's it. So once you've done it once or twice, you can start doing it for all of your different social media and have different schedules for everyone. I hope you found this video to be helpful. Happy automating. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day.